Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Dana White, the president of the UFC, Ultimate Fighting Championship organization, MMA, people are familiar with that, I'm assuming. So Dana White is in big trouble with none other than the Chechen leader Ramzan Kadyrov. That is not a good situation for Dana White, and I'm telling you why. I know that Dana White probably has to deal with all kind of sharks in the United States, all kind of hanky-panky in order to survive with his company. He has to associate himself with this and that, pay here, do that, and befriend this and befriend that, and make sure that he's not stepping on a hot light or fire so it doesn't get burned. Well, this is United States of America, you know. Sometimes some things happen if you don't do what you're supposed to. The problem is you deal here with Kadyrov, who comes from a different country, different culture, different society, where things are, or justice, click, is dispensed in a different way that it is in the United States. And those sharks that you lurk with or you swim with in the United States, that's a different swimming pool or a different ocean. You swim here in this lake with the American, sharks. Those guys over there are different kind of sharks with less patience and less ability to negotiate. They are based on this more than on this or with that. And I'm not talking about Kadyrov here, but I'm talking about a certain kind of culture. And I'm coming from one of those cultures where people like to settle scores mostly with this than with this. Here, this country is kept under control by the law enforcement. But anyway, it's a different kind of culture. Now, what happened? During the weekend, it was a UFC event 282, where in the final for the championship belt that was vacant. I'm not going to go into it. There were two fighters, a Polish guy, which is, what the hell is his name? So Blachowicz, that was the Polish fighter, which I like, and the other one was Ankalaev. Ankalaev is a Russian from, I don't know, Chechnya or Dagestan, I think Dagestan. Now Kadyrov is involved in MMA, not himself, which he's probably a galaxy champion if you would put him in, you know what I mean? But he likes to promote MMA and fighting sports. So he's involved in this, and this Ankalaev is associated with Kadyrov, that probably Kadyrov sponsors him and looks for his success. This guy fights in the UFC in the United States, Ankalaev. So the fight, I watched the fight, and the fight was kind of balanced, let's put it this way. It was an ugly fight, let's put it this way. And Ankalaev, I said, let's say if it would be a football team and the other one, Blachowicz, would be another football team, the final score would be about 10 for Ankalaev to 8. Not 10 to 9, 10 to 8. Ugly fight, but I would say 10 to 9, 10 to 8. They were not equal, let's put it this way. How do you call them? The judges, they scored it equal. And it was a draw. And the belt was not given to either of these guys. None of them got the belt. Ankalaev should have probably get it, not Blachowicz. I like the Polish guy. He's a very honest and honorable man. The other guy was very direct in his final interview when he had with Joe Rogan. Anyway, I made a video on that yesterday, I think, and I explained what's going on over there. Now, in this case, Kadyrov is upset. I'm upset. Ankalaev is upset. And many others who think that Ankalaev should have won. Now, I'm not an idiot, and I'm not a novice in fighting sports. I did it myself. I was a referee. I was a practitioner. I fought. I was a trainer. So I'm not a novice like I'm watching for the first time. And I can tell you that most likely Ankalaev, as I said, I will give you 10 to 9 for Ankalaev. It was close, but not that close to say, well, I don't know. So I think there was politics over there. Now Kadyrov is angry with Dana White. And see what Kadyrov is gonna say and maybe do about it. If I say do, you kind of know what he has in mind. So this article comes from SBN Nation, Bloody Elbow, and it's from yesterday, December 11th, 2022. Ramzan Kadyrov calls out Dana White after UFC 282 split draw, demands his fighter be made champion. That's not going to happen. In a rare English-language social media post Sunday, the Chechen dictator took aim at the UFC and Dana White for the UFC 282 main card controversy. Following a split draw in the UFC 282 main event that saw Ramzan Kadyrov's fighter, it's not his fighter, but anyway, Magomed Ankalaev denied a UFC championship, the Chechen dictator has called out the organization and its leading figure. Now, Dana White said that he's not choosing those, he's picking those judges. It is the whatever, I think that was in Las Vegas, so the Nevada Athletic Commission picks those and appoints the, but you know, they know who's who, what's what. I have no doubt that they know who's what and what's going on over there. Because I've been in these kind of organizations where there were no money like here. And I knew that there were basic things, even if the referees or judges were picked by others, appointed by others, they knew one another, they knew exactly what the organization wants and what's going on. So I don't think it was just a, oh my God, the referees, the judges are so bad. I don't believe that. I have no evidence to support that. But from previous experience and from this, they also fucked up another favorite Dana White fighter that, again, I thought he lost. An Irish guy, but what do you want? Dana White is Irish. And he's got another guy who, again, beat another Russian, which he should not have won, Sugar whatever O'Malley, lost to the other Russian, gave the same reason. And again, they were clear. That was not fair. Anyway, so let's see what's going on here. In a rare English language social media post Sunday, Kadyrov took aim at UFC President Dana White and blamed politics and dirty refereeing as the reasons why Ankalaev was not awarded the vacant light heavyweight title. And I'm quoting, "Dana White, what happened to you?" ? Kadyrov wrote on his approximately 3 million followers on Telegram. So he must have a little bit, how many followers do you have? How many followers do I have? So 3 million, I think, is kind of like, I don't know, 3 million want to hear what this dictator, bad dude, because probably they're all bad dudes, right? One is saying. And I'm quoting, "You were a normal, principled man, and today you took the championship belt out of the ring without handing it to the clear winner. Or has politics entered the UFC ring and requires you to referee dirty? It's a sport, Dana, be honest," end quote. I think it was fair in whatever he said. That was his perception, and he said it. And I don't think he threatened or anything so far. Kadyrov's statement is in reference to the UFC 282 main event, which saw Ankalaev challenge Jan Blachowicz in the recently vacated light heavyweight title. So it says here that Ankalaev is one of a handful of UFC fighters currently affiliated with Kadyrov, the strongman leader of Chechnya, routinely accused of orchestrating, and now I'm not going to read you that because they're going to say he's the worst person, almost as Putin and Hitler. All right, LGBT plus and all that shit. Their relationship dates back in 2016 when Ankalaev first joined Kadyrov's Akhmat MMA Fight Club, a state-sponsored mixed martial art gym founded by Kadyrov himself. Since then, the Dagestan-born, if you forget Dagestan, like Khabib, and like Islam Magadevov, whatever his name is, Dagestan-born fighter has continued to represent Kadyrov during competition, including throughout his UFC tenure. Ankalaev has continued to maintain ties to Kadyrov despite the U.S. Department of Treasury prohibiting U.S. citizens or people present in the United States from doing business with Kadyrov. Maybe it's not, I don't know. At the time, the Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control cited extrajudicial killing, torture, or other gross violations among the reasons for sanctioning Kadyrov. Okay, so this is what it is here. Politics. And And he also wrote this: take an example for Mayabek Kasiev, ACA League, who stops and judging in the league and bias, demanding objectively and not mixing sports with politics. Kadyrov wrote in reference to Absolute Championship Ahmad founder who disqualified ACA fighter for being too boring and is known for reversing judging decisions. Anyway, this is, again, I don't know. I think that, as I said, I think that Ankalaev won that fight. Not like, okay, not like that. He won. It was a shitty fight, I gotta tell you that. And this guy has the right to call, and I think he was very nice in what he said. He didn't say anything, hey, I'm gonna come and I'm gonna send some Chechen squad to take care of you or anything like that. But I don't think you like when one guy like this is telling you something like this. A lot of former and current UFC champions go and visit Kadyrov in Chechnya. A lot of them, like UFC champions. Frank Mir went over there. Frankie Edgar. What's his name? From Brazil. I can't remember his name right now. I know there's Usman. Kamaru Usman was over there. Gagey was over there. Just a month ago, I made a video on that. And some others, they went over there and visited Ramzan, the bad guy. They went on a shooting range. They had parties over there. So, you know what I mean? Some people go over there. It's, I think, freedom of association without being punished for associating yourself with someone. It's not like you make dealings. You do shit with them. You party with them. Well, it says against the law. Says who? They? Well, they limit my life. You know what I mean? It's not that I'm supporting that guy in his killing or something, or I'm supposed to isolate him, like United States isolate everybody else. And I said, hey, I isolated you all. I don't know who's isolated. You isolate yourself from those guys that you isolate, because you already isolated so many countries that actually you isolated yourself from the rest of the party. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking only with you. We isolated the rest of the party, man. Yeah, give me here. That's how United States is. Has 357 weasels, and they isolate the rest of 170 countries on this planet. I'm just exaggerating now, obviously. So yeah, I never liked judges. When I was competing, in the national championships, I fought one time in the national championships, and I won everything by Wazari and Ippon. That means knockout. That's right. And we didn't have a point system. We had full contact system. Why? Because I was always afraid of these fucking judges that screwed me so many times. So I know the feeling when you win and you lose. And then after that, people come and say, hey, you won. I know I won. Where's my belt? Where's my number one? Well, and I know exactly. Oh, those were independent judges. Well, they were associated with that, and they with that, and they with that, and they were together. And they, hey, that's why I was always afraid I was afraid to leave the other person that I was fighting standing up, because that leaves everything for, hey, I'm going to give you him. No, not him. That's why. I was a national champion, and I represented Romania in European championships. And one time when I went and I was the national champion, I fucked them all up from the first one to the last one. And I was so happy because I didn't give any illusions and any chances for the referees, the judges to say, hey, you lost. No, they're all fucking down, all of them. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Not that I'm a tough guy. That's a real story. I can tell you, and I can tell you exactly the year when that happened. In 1996. Okay? 1996. Thank you very much for the European Championships from 1997 in Berlin, Germany. Look for it, Kyokushin Karate. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.